guys, this is Andrea from my study room, and today I want to continue our subject of coordination. So we're going to start with a simple exercise to develop it in 8 notes and then in 16 notes. So these exercises, I use them with my students, and I think they're a great tool to start and have control of your left foot, your right foot, and coordinate your hands doing a roll between the kick and your hands. So we will see it as we go. It's easier to do it than to explain it. Now, if you enjoy our videos, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. You can follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group. It's called the Drum Arts Group. And feel free to join. We appreciate your participation. So let's get going with our exercise. So to start, we're gonna have an exercise in 8 notes. And we're gonna play quarter notes with our hi-hat, with our left foot. So it's gonna be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're gonna alternate our snare drum played starting with one hand. So we're gonna do 8 notes between the snare and the kick. Okay, once we've done one hand, we can switch to the other hand. We can then practice by alternating hands. Now, I encourage you to start with the right hand, start with a strong hand with your right hand, or your left hand if you're left-handed, but then turn them around because it's not the same. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Something to keep in mind is that you need to pay attention to the height of your sticks. Make sure that when you're doing a movement, the height is the same, so you have the same sound between your right hand and your left hand. Because we need to remember that the sound is affected by our movement. Now, if the movements of the hands are not identical, you're gonna have, and you're hitting the same spot with the same height, with the same strength, you're not gonna have the same sound. Once this is coming good, we can invert, and we're gonna start with our kick. Now, I'm just gonna switch to where I alternate hands, but you can, do the same process. You can work with one hand, work with the other, and then put the two together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Very good. Once this is coming, you can repeat everything, but we're gonna move the hi-hat on the end. So if we start with the snare drum, we're gonna have the hi-hat playing with the kick on the end. Pay attention, this is very important, that there are no flams between the hi-hat, the snare, the kick, everything. The notes are in unison, but perfectly. So you need to focus on that. Now, we can do the other way around. We're gonna have the hi-hat on the end, but we're gonna start with the kick. So the hi-hat is gonna play with the snare. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once all this section is done properly, You can also experiment moving around the kit, but I will show you this later with the 16 notes. Now, we can do the same process with the hi-hat, doing quarter notes, but we're gonna do 16 notes between our snare drum and our kick drum. Now you can do the same things as we did before. You're gonna do one hand, then you can do the other hand, then you can alternate, and you can even become creative and doing doubles, like 2 strokes with one hand, 2 strokes with another. The goal is to arrive to the point where you're able to improvise and you're just playing the kick in between your hand strokes, and you're keeping the tempo with the hi-hat. So let's start with our first exercise. And the. Now I just want to show you a bit of improvisation with which is the final goal. It's to arrive to this point where you're able to just keep time, improvise on the kit, and then have the roll between your hands and the kick. So the kick is going to play in between the hands. Now I encourage you to start with some easy phrases. Don't go crazy immediately, like moving all over the kit. Start with easy things. Let me show you a couple of examples. As you saw, my phrases were always the same. I was creating phrases, but I was sticking to a phrase. Now I showed you a few examples, but I encourage you to start simple, and as you gain confidence, then you can start moving around. Then when you become really confident, you can really start an experiment and go on the bells, on the cymbals, or whatever you want to do. Here, let me show you a little bit of improvisation. We're applying this concept, and then we're done. Okay guys, it's all for today. So I really encourage you to do these exercises. You can start it as a warm-up and keep them going. They're really a good exercise also for your legs, to develop strength and endurance. So it's been a pleasure to have you here with us. Hit that like button, share the video if you liked it, and I look forward to see you again. God bless you. Bye bye.